No, I did watch Trump's press conference to where he is declaring, President Trump announces he will be exerting his powers to take full control of the DC Police Department from the city government and is deploying the National Guard. So I want to play this.
He should have done that a long time ago. This thing about granting DC self-governance is kind of a farce. It started out, came from Maryland. It was supposed to be used as a governing district, District of Columbia. That's what DC stands for. And it's gotten out of control, typically, as per the usual with blue run places. It's incompetently run. There's a lot of misappropriation of funds. There is an agenda that has very little to do with the day-to-day existence of the people. And we suffer the embarrassment of Washington, D.C. being the most dangerous capital in the whole world to be in. That's kind of bad.
I'm going to play this clip.
Purpose, very serious purpose. Something's out of control, but we're going to put it in control very quickly, like we did on the southern border. I'm announcing a historic action to rescue our nation's capital from crime, bloodshed, bedlam, and squalor, and worse. This is Liberation Day in D.C., and we're going to take our capital back. We're taking it back. Under the authorities vested in me as the President of the United States, I'm officially invoking Section 740 of the District of Columbia Home Rule Act. You know what that is? And placing the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department under direct federal control, and you'll be meeting the people that will be directly involved with that. Very good people, but they're tough, and they know what's happening, and they've done it before. In addition, I'm deploying the National Guard to help reestablish law, order, and public safety in Washington, D.C., and they're going to be allowed to do their job properly. And you people are victims of it, too. You know, you're reporters, and I understand a lot of you tend to be on the liberal side, but you don't want to get mugged and raped and shot and killed. And you all know people and friends of yours that happened. And so you can be anything you want, but you want to have safety in the streets. You want to be able to leave your apartment or your house where you live and feel safe and go into a store to buy a newspaper or buy something. And you don't have that now. The murder rate in Washington today is higher than that of Bogota, Colombia, Mexico City, some of the places that you hear about as being the worst places on earth, much higher. This is much higher. The number of car thefts has doubled over the past 5 years, and the number of carjackings has more than tripled. Murders in 2023 reached the highest rate probably ever. They say 25 years, but they don't know what that means because it just goes back 25 years. Can't be worse. Our capital city has been overtaken by violent gangs and bloodthirsty criminals, roving mobs of wild youth, drugged out maniacs and homeless people. And we're not going to let it happen anymore. We're not going to take it.
I don't have a problem with that. Give somebody a chance to do something. They can't do it, fire it. In this case, fire the D.C. government. They've got the home rule charter. Constitutionally, they aren't entitled to anything other than what Congress gives them. So here you go. The Congress put this in place, home rule, and it set up some conditions. And as Chief Executive of the United States of America, of which it is the capital district, District of Columbia, he's evoking the authority that they vested in him. He's dealing with his job. In other words, it happens. You have an opportunity to run something and you don't do it, you get fired. The board replaces you. You lose your job. The boss says you're gone. The stockholders say time out. The voters say this, and when it's a situation that isn't a voting circumstance. It's just district circumstances, which is unique. You're out of there. And the whole thing about making D.C. a state is absolutely preposterous. It's just a small, medium-sized city. And to give it 2 senators and 2 congressmen is a travesty. That's just a way to stuff the interest of the rainbow crowd. And if you want to give them the vote, return the whole damn thing to Maryland and just keep the Capitol Mall, and that's all you really need. So that would satisfy that. They could vote for Congress and senator and all of the rest of the stuff. And it is what it is. Just bring it back to being peaceful. If somebody doesn't know how to act, show them how to act.
Well, I want to play this clip here because this was interesting.
By the way,
told them whatever happens, they love to
say on
What?
Facebook. He said the R word twice. We can't say on Facebook.
Mm-hmm. This is YouTube, but yeah.
YouTube or Facebook permanently banned me. I mean YouTube. I confuse them. They're getting to be like the same.
And let me play this clip.
told them whatever happens, they love to spit in the face of the police as the police are standing up there in uniform. They're standing and they're screaming at them an inch away from their face. And then they start spitting in their face. And I said, you tell them, you spit and we hit. And they can hit real hard. It's a disgusting thing. I've watched that for years, for 3-4 years. I've watched them. The police are standing, and they're told, don't do anything under any such, and you can see they want to get at it. And they're standing there, and people are spitting in their face, and they're not allowed to do anything. But now they are allowed to do whatever the hell they want. This dire public safety crisis stems directly from...
So basically, he's giving the National Guards, even state
the DC police who say ordinary, he's saying, kick ass. We will turn a blind eye. We didn't see it.
Yeah, so they're saying if you spit on them, they can hit back.
And we won't prosecute. See, you have prosecutorial discretion. So if somebody's saying you do this, you know, it ain't gonna happen. Now, what's this we're looking at?
So she is right now currently the mayor of DC, and she's holding a live.
Oh, this one is doing such a piss poor job of trying to run this small city. Yeah, okay.
So,
what's the name? I don't even know this person.
Mayor, DC Mayor. I think it starts with it. Let me see if it's in this description.
We've got Urkel as the mayor in Memphis now. That's what they're calling the fool. We've got Chief Do Nothing Davis. We've got Urkel Young, and let's see, we've got the Clown Council.
But here's the thing, though, because I have pulled up the stats of the crime in DC, and apparently violent crimes decreased by 35% between 2023 to 2024. Homicides dropped 32%. Robbery fell 39%. Property crime decreased 11%. Motor vehicle theft dropped 25%. Year to date.
Oh, that's a lie.
Let me finish. Let me finish. Year to date in 2025, violent crime down 26%. Homicides 12, robberies down 28, assault with a dangerous weapon down 20%, property crime down 4%, motor vehicle theft is no change. So
excuse me, that's just like this bullshit in Memphis where the city hall has put out a directive to the police department, just don't report anything. Yeah, last I was in DC earlier this year, I saw a crime. You know, it's like, wow. I was born in DC, lived there 50 some years ago, been back and forth many, many times. And it's like you're actually eyeballing it, just walking around or driving around. It's like, hey, what's going on here? This is ridiculous. And don't forget the zombies. On the
Yeah, Miriam
Anecdotal
Bowser.
impression they're
That's her
picking
name,
up. So
Miriam Bowser.
this is bullshit. They're
Let's
just
take a listen to a little bit. Let's listen to some of it. Just a
I
little.
know. Well, it's a failure, but let's listen to it.
Well, what I would point you to is the Home Rule Charter that gives the president the ability to determine the conditions of an emergency. Now, we could contest that, but the authority is pretty broad. And so, like, if you wanted to say the most outrageous thing, one might say, well, I won't say that. It could be something very small. Like, I'm not saying that that's what he's doing, but it could be. And if he deems it and he puts the meat around it and the argument around what he thinks is an emergency. When we think of emergencies, it usually involves surges in crime or crime that's not being responsive, or tools that we have that we can't use in the normal course. That's what, when we use an emergency, that's what it's for. Yeah.
I call bullshit.
Wanted to see if you could respond directly to some of what the president said this morning. Do you agree or have any thoughts on the picture he's painting? He said that there are, quote, bloodthirsty criminals, end quote, or roving mobs of wild youth. End quote. He also said that DC police can do whatever the hell they want, end quote. Are you okay with that? What does that mean? Do you have any response to him or the White House talking about the DC crime stats?
I mean, I think I've already addressed all of those questions. Anything else? Yep.
Scott Gelman with WTOP. You described, this morning was described as a federal takeover of MPD. It sounds like you're describing this as Chief Smith is still in charge and everything will run through the department. What will this look like on a day-to-day basis as it relates to what has transpired here? What can people expect to see? Is this an instance where you all work collaboratively for big events and this is something comparable to that?
No, I don't, it's not like that. It's not like the special events task force where we work together. And I think I don't want to minimize what was said. And I don't want to minimize the intrusion on our autonomy because it is very different than working a special event. So that is not what we're trying to do.
It's not an
But
autonomous place, which it belongs to the people of the United States. It's our nation's capital. Where the hell you get this idea you got some little enclave you can dig out and go say it's yours? Belongs to the people of the United States of America. You talk about England, you talk about London, you talk about France, you talk about Paris, you talk about the United States, you talk about Washington, D.C., you talk about Germany, you talk about Berlin, Russia, Moscow, China, Beijing. What the devil got into you?
It's right, the execution.
And the other thing is, it's just like Memphis, these lying folk are trying to bend the stats by underreporting what's going on. You walk out here at night, get in your car, the streets are vacant, the restaurants are closed, the clubs are closed, the businesses are leaving. It is the most violent city in the entirety of the United States, the 10th most violent in the world. And these clowns here are talking about the violent crime is going down, just like they are in D.C. This is more of this lying, dogged out stuff that the blue cities are doing. And right now, America is not blue. It went red, went elephant. And it's time that the people in D.C. learn the fact that if you want to be part of this country and do what you do, find someplace else to live and go live in a state rather than in the nation's capital, where the presumption was is you'd be there on a temporary business basis, or maybe a semi-permanent one, but your real calling is the state that you're a resident of. So, I mean, they want to be part of the zone. That's like, I live in an office building. Okay, fine. Where? I live in this office building. Where is the office? Well, it's an office building. That's all DC is an oversized office complex. And that's it.
Well, here's the thing though, because so the question that I have, 42% of the population in DC are black, 37% are white. And the majority of people that hold the wealth or have high paying jobs, the majority are white. So is this a way? listen, let me finish. Is this so when he's talking about bringing in the National Guards and listen, I don't have a problem with that if it's a crime crisis and you're trying to crack down on crime, but you look at the numbers and it's decreasing. Whether they
No,
I don't know,
those
we don't
numbers
know
are
we don't
bull.
know if they're fake. We don't know if the numbers are fake,
Those numbers are fake.
but here's the question. We don't know for sure, but here's the question. Is this another way to criminalize Black DC residents?
No, it's not. What it is it's saying you are a goddamn fool. You got a chance to make one of the greatest cities in the world great, and you fucked it up because you don't know what the hell you're doing. You fucked up Los Angeles. You fucked up
Stop saying the F
Atlanta.
word.
I know. Well, fuck it. It's time we
No,
got
not
around the
F.
same.
Stop saying
I
it.
get it, but okay, hypocritical bastards are out there screwing up the whole damn country and the world, and they're worried about FUCK. It is absolutely preposterous. They messed up Memphis. They messed up everywhere they deal with this whole agenda driven thing where instead of dealing with day to day needs, economic situations, employment situations, crime situations, family situations, neighborhood situations, delivering good governance, they try to deliver a damned agenda while they are misappropriating public funds to get personally wealthy. It is a damn shame. And it
Well,
is part of the whole thing. You talk to one of these idiots and they'll tell you it's our turn to get the gravy. No, it's your turn to deliver good governance, you damn fools. You
thank
have the chance now to deliver, but they're not.
Thank you, CR says Mayor Mario Bowser is only concerned with that $3.7 billion RFK Stadium for the Washington Commanders. Her agenda is not crime or homelessness.
That's right. And what's her cut?
Well, so here's the thing, cracking down on crime, right? That's good.
I saw it when I was just there earlier this year. It's horrible. The place is run down. Areas that were historically black areas, they look like no man's land. You go out there, dirt fields with cars propped up on milk crates. It's ridiculous. And they have communal auto repair operations because
So
it's broken down.
so with that said, if you're bringing in the National Guards and you're deploying them, if you're taking over the DC Police Department to crack down on crime, okay, that's good. But what about education reform and job creation, especially reinvesting in the youth? Because during a press conference, when he had Attorney General Pam Bondi, she was saying they cannot go after someone who's under 18, 17 and under. They kind of want to change those laws. So if someone who's 15 or 14 commit murder, they should be charged as adults, blah, 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 blah. So cracking down on crime is one of other things, one of the remedies. The other remedies is job creation, because if people are employed, that lowers crime. Education, if people are more educated, especially the youth, that lowers crime. So it's not much talk about that.
Well, the truth of the matter is when DC got set up 236 years ago, what the deal was is you weren't supposed to live there if you didn't have a government job or a job related to governance. So if you don't have a government job, get the hell on out there and go find yourself a state to live in and be useful, because you aren't dealing with what needs to be done to make that a good place. It's going downhill, it's hellish, it is decayed, decrepit, and it is beginning to look like every other city that you get the Democratic Party running.
Speaking of that, with the government jobs, because Black people, especially in that DC, DMV area, majority of the Black people that live there are employed by the government, federal and state. But with the Trump administration, eliminating and laying off hundreds and thousands of federal workers, and a lot of them were Black people, aren't we going to probably see an increase in whether it's homelessness or family struggling, and maybe an uptick
Go
in
get an honest job. There are a lot of them available, and stop supporting idiots that want to replace you by sneaking somebody across the border.
So you were born in DC.
Deal with folk who are trying to get your children educated, get them prepared to work in the 21st century instead of those who are trying to influence them to be displaced idiots with no sense who make a habit of taking too many damn penitentiary chances and having the inevitable to with the penitentiary chance resulted in going to the penitentiary. And then stop complaining about somebody's picking on you because you're acting an idiot.
You were born in DC.
I know. And my old man had just gotten out of the Army and he was going to Howard. Mother worked in the government and he did too, so they quickly got out of there.
How long did you live there after you were born?
About 6 months.
Really?
But I've been back to DC quite often, and I used to be there with one stretch. I was working as an intern in the DC think tank.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw this thing. It's been a while back, and I've got a son that lives in that DMV area, 2 grandchildren, and it's gone down. It's not what it used to be.
Yeah, but you were born in the 50s.
No, I wasn't born in the 50s.
1950s? When were you born?
No, I was born before that, in the 40s.
Oh, well, wasn't DC nice back then? But you left when you was like 5 or 6.
No, I left when I was like 6 weeks old, 6 months old.
Oh, well then.
But I've been back an awful lot in between.
Oh, I thought you left when you was like 5 or 6.
No,
Oh, so you were raised from an infant baby out in LA. So you're a Californian.
Yeah, I mean, I was born in the nation's capital and grew up in Los Angeles, man.
Oh, so
so yeah.
Why did your parents want to leave? Why did your parents want to leave DC at that time? Do you know why?
It was a racist piece of crap because a Democratic asshole by the name of Woodrow Wilson signed an executive order officially segregating the place, also officially segregating the then integrated United States Navy. That was the bastard that was in the office when he was trying to spread democracy around the world, except in the United States, where the Negro was an inferior entity, a domestic animal. Mm-hmm. But, we forget the Democratic Party history and we go off of la-di-da. They've been rainbowed and they make good times and they dance out in front of the polling places and have commercials with naked gay boys sliding down poles in a strip joint and say, take your booties to the poll. That's what we vote for this incompetence right here that is illustrated by Washington, D.C. right now. This is what we're supposed to the Democratic Party for. Yeah, that. Also, Fani Willis in Atlanta, Georgia. Also, that idiot that got removed from office for a professional incompetence who thought she knew more about judging than folk who knew how to do it. All right.
You pick on women a lot.
Bass running around violating Title 8, Section 1324, who ought to be indicted for that. Los Angeles is a mess, and that's where I grew up. Oh, yeah, we have a lot of that. A district I lived in at one time, Maxine Wastewater is the head of the district for the congressional side of things, and there are hypodermic needles all over the sidewalk. It's filthy. Trash is abundantly strewn about the place. Homeless are all over. And she says, you people are an embarrassment. Just go home to the homeless. Oh, yeah. I mean, really, it's so.
Judge, it sounds like you are criticizing nothing but women.
Well, if that's who the men running it, okay. Let's not forget the idiot Cory Booker. Let's not forget
That's my
Hakeem
neighborhood. Yeah.
Jeffries, dumb self. Let's deal with that. Let's look at somebody that doesn't hold an office, Chicken George Sharpton. Let's look at him. There aren't many. Find me a Negro male running something except some idiots in Congress, and they aren't even there.
Well, why they have to be Negro? There are a lot of incompetent white
No, I'm
people.
done. I'm not. I don't see any black folk because black folk don't act like that. Negroes do.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, Negroes. And I hate to talk about the ladies. I mean, I don't have any problems with women doing what they do, but I mean, there aren't any men doing anything for the Democratic Party these days, and the Democratic Party is my enemy.